Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Paintbology 101. I'm Joe Barrett and I'm here to teach you more textbook paintball. So today I want to go over a very simple, basic lesson, but one that I still see a lot of teams could use a little bit more help with. It's just snake side breakouts. So what I have drawn on the board here today is basically half an X ball field from the X over to the snake with the addition of one insert bunker on the Dorito side. So let's talk about snake side breakouts. Basically, when you're playing 5-man format, whether it be 5-man or X ball, you generally always favor the side of the snake side of the field. You generally do this because on almost every layout, 99% of them, it's the power side of the field. It's the side where you can easily get past the 50, you can get all the angles, and up until recently, I suppose, it'd be the side where you're right in front of the coaches, so it's just a stronger side to get information from. With that being said, most teams either do a 2-1-2 breakout, or they do a 3-2 or 3-1-1 type breakout, something along the lines of having 3 snake side players, and either the other 2 on Dorito side or the other 2 center and over, something along the lines of that. Paintball layouts this year and last year have actually been basically advancing to a more spread out layout without that central bunker. So now you have more and more frequently 3-2 layouts where all 3 of your guys have to find spots out the snake side right off the bat. What I'm going to show you today though is basically just on a very traditional, fundamentally basic layout with a center spot, multiple insert bunkers, and a quarter on the board. So when you're playing this kind of layout, you obviously want to have 1, if not 2, of your 3 somewhat close guns off the break on snake side. Generally, your best place to shoot this off break is going to be from back center, but those 3 bunkers in the pocket, or that space behind the X, which includes the 2 closest bunkers out each way, are also generally very easy spots to break shoot from. This can, for example, would be only a few steps out, and then you could shoot heads up downfield at your mirror, or you could shoot the snake runner, or your Dorito back player coming out to this insert Dorito has only a few slow steps where he's pretty much not going to get shot off break, and he has a very easy lane on a decent sized snake gap. So you're going to want to make sure that at least 1, if not 2 lanes are going right to the snake, or possibly 1 to the snake, 1 to the corner, off the break on pretty much most fields. And why you want 2 is because you could shoot for the snake every game, but if they're always running corner off break, you're pretty much wasting a gun. You're not shooting for them. So you'll put 1 gun in front of like the front runner's wide spot, and you'll put another gun in front of a wide runner's spot, such as that corner. If you're running deep out to that corner because you have to get a body wide somewhere on the field, then they're going to be sending them through that. There's multiple bunkers that can hack that down off break as well, including his mirror, the first can, the back center again if he's not shooting for in front of the snake itself, and once again this backfield Dorito. So let's talk about where you would put 3 guys snakes out in this breakout. Granted, you have a guy looking Dorito way, you probably have a guy moving up the Dorito side. You're going to have a snake front player, that's your 1, as you would hear it called, or your initial attacker on snake side. You're going to have your insert player, or the 2, and that's a very important player on snake side because chances are you're going to lose your snake front player off break sometimes. Your 2 is basically your audible player. And then you're going to have your 3, who is your middle player, your final insert. People would call him the back guy, but he basically has to be that, versatile insert role, because if you lose a front player and your insert's stuck, he might become the front player. If you lose your front player and your insert gets in the field, you now have to start spreading out to those spots the insert guy will go to. So let's talk about the best way to put these 3 spots in the game. A lot of, early, I'd say amateur teams always play with a back center spot shooting their way, a insert at 1 of the near 2 bunkers shooting either heads up or crossfield, and a guy running the snake. And you want that because the objective on snake side is to get in the snake and to the 50. So it's always a good idea to see if you can just get to the snake off break. Here's the problem: a lot of times you're on fields where you cannot get to the snake off break. For this reason, you have to basically work on different routes and different ways of pushing your front player into that snake spot. You know, you can't always go with just a basic run a guy to snake, have a guy follow him, and have a back guy contain that side of the field. So something else I wanted to point out for teams looking at how to diversify their breakouts is how to use that insert player basically as a bait to draw guns to help your front player move up the field. What I'm going to explain is you can see all these lanes downfield. The back center has multiple lanes, multiple gaps, I should say, that he can shoot. But he can shoot you before the God bunker, he could shoot the back line for the corner, or he can just put his paint right in front of the snake first notch. The next can out can do basically all the same things. Even the God bunker, if someone was running there, can do basically the same things. And once a corner's out here, if no one makes it wide, he can contain all the gaps from the outside in. What you need to have happen is you have to have a way where your snake front player can avoid some of these lanes. If the other team is going to put more than one gun over here, one gun is not that big of a deal because you can see their lane and you know if you're going to be able to slide underneath it, maybe dive over it, maybe stop short. The problem comes when, say, they put two guns on. Let's say a back center and the first can bunker. Your front player might be able to come out and put in one bunker to make his move, but if he puts in one, the other player is keeping his lane up, almost baiting for that move to get the G when he moves. For this reason, you got to learn how to use your insert players to draw the guns off you. So a good breakout on snake side that you could start to use is, I don't know what my chalk is. You could have one player go to corner off break, and that's not your front player, that is your insert player. He's going to go out there and immediately get dominance on the wire. Firstly, because that's going to immediately get control so your player can move when he gets into the snake, and it'll contain anything heads up that could be moving towards your front player. Second, because you're going to draw the guns from the center of the field. Picture this. If somebody makes it out into that corner alive, and a snake front player only comes out of this can, who are you going to shoot at? You're going to shoot at the wide one. If you're in this back center trying to gunfight with a player in this can, all it's going to take is one snapshot from a corner player or one wrap, and you're going to get killed. Obviously, that's just paintball logic. That's why middle players or people in the center of the field or up the field are always told to shoot on the widest possible throw. There's no point in shooting at the next two people in line because you're going to do basically the same job by shooting past that widest player anyways. So back to the breakout. I want you to put your insert players into that corner spot to draw a gun that would come from back center or an insert or maybe his mirror, so they're not looking back into the center of the field. You're going to have your back center shoot this way to try to get the G off the front player going to the snake or corner this way. And then your front player basically has a little bit more freed up room. If you can picture it, these guys' guns are going to shift out to the side to try to dominate this corner so he can't fight them or keep them in. And your front player is going to have about 75% of the space on the way to the snake to work with. That means he can basically delay and try to shoot his mirror off break himself if he wants to, or it means he can edge to whatever bunker he chooses or whatever spot in the field and put in that possible second gun, making it easier for him to get out of the snake. Basically, what you're going to picture on that is, if this can is containing the snake and this back center is looking for the player who's going to move up the field rather than wide, now your front player can kind of float and edge on only one lane. And that's much more easy and realistic to do than on two people shooting back at him. So I hope that was a good lesson on a more creative way to spread up the field by spreading wide first, and try it out at practice. Let me know and give me more topics.